Hello everybody, RegiTime here, and today we're going to be looking at some more of the Chinese rush on GG Poker. As you can see, my bankroll isn't super big on these sites because I don't play here very often, so I just choose not to keep very much money on here. But I like a lot of what they're doing. I don't like the hold'em cash games too much. I think they're kind of pretty grindy, pretty nitty. But more than the worst thing I like about them is they have like a 10 big blind buy-in, which just allows certain people to come in and just spoil the games. Because I mean, once you have someone there with a 10 big blind stack, it's kind of a ball ache. It's like going back to the olden days where people used to buy in on stars for 20 big blinds and just have like a 3-bet shove strategy. Now most people who do the $2.50 stack, they're not doing that. You know, they're just bad players, but nevertheless it doesn't create a good dynamic at the tables. But by the by, that's not what we're here to speak about. We're here to speak about these games, these Chinese rush games. As you can see, the bankrolls at 220. That converts to 1500, whatever this currency is called. I don't know, probably should have done my research. So what's that like, whatever that ratio is, about 7 to 1, is it, something like that? So we're going to be playing these games today, this 100 NL game. We have 15 buy-ins for it at 220. It says that it's what, like 15 NL, something like that, I would say. 14, 15, 16 NL, somewhere around there. We're going to be playing these games and these games. We're not rolled for these games, but I will play them when they're running because I'm not too bothered about proper bankroll management. I just want to explore the games, see what's going on in them, check out the rate back situation because I believe that's pretty good, and just check out the game liquidity, how much traffic there is. I mean, traffic's really low now, but that's because it's mainly a site that attracts a lot of Asian players, and right now it's like 7 AM in Asia, 6 AM in Asia. So this is at probably the lowest point of traffic of the day. I was on earlier today. There was several of these games running at various different limits, so I'm expecting to be more traffic during the daytime. Not the best time of day to do this video, but here we are, we're doing it anyway. If I think the games are good and I think the rate back's good, I do intend to do some sub-affiliate work for my friend Shroom the River, who's a Twitch streamer. George Davidson's his real name. He's a Twitch streamer. He's affiliated to GG, and I'm hoping if the games are good and I can genuinely point you guys in the direction of the games, I'm hoping to set up some sub-affiliate work with him where you join the Facebook group. There'll be like a link to his sign up in there and all that. None of it's been agreed yet because I'm not doing anything for sure until I know about the games and until I know what I think about them. But George has assured me that the site's very stable, that there's good guys running it. It's a new site, so there's obviously a few trust issues, considering what's happened in the past in poker. But I think, given the people representing the site and the people I talk to, they all assure me that it's solid enough and that it's growing. It's a growing site. I mean, you never know. There's always risk whenever you put your money in any poker site. Full Tilt and all that, Ultimate Bet, Tusk, lots of microgaming skins, some iPoker skins. There's been plenty of sites that have let people down, but I mean, you can't be afraid of that. If there's a new site that's getting up and running and it's growing like this one is, you just got to put your trust in it. So I don't think there's any issues with player funds or anything like that, so that won't be anything that I'm too concerned about. But I am concerned about directing you guys to good games with some good rate back. If I don't feel I can do that, then there won't even be a sub-affiliate deal. We'll just go back to Sky and we'll be happy. But I am intending on grinding these games for the next few days and getting a good look at them, and then hopefully A, I can make some money in them, B, find them entertaining, C, think that they're good games, and D, hopefully give you guys some more options where you might want to go and play and put some money. And if I make a few, then it will just be a few, because let's face it, affiliates don't make too much these days. Some affiliates make even less. But if I can make a few extra dollars at the end of the month through you guys playing and what have you, I hope you guys find that acceptable. I mean, I've been doing the content for 4 years now on YouTube, maybe 5 even, and I've almost never promoted anything. It's just not what I do generally. But with it being a new site and there's lots of guys not signed up to it yet, there is an opportunity for me to add like a small side income to my overall income portfolio, and I'm sure most of you guys won't mind my doing that, especially if you're getting a bit extra on your rate, on top of your rate back from Shroom. So what we're going to do now, we're going to load up some tables and see what the games play like for 25 minutes or so. So we are straight into the action. We have 2 aces over here. We have 2 jacks that we have 3-bet over here versus a green tagged player under the gun raise. Calls. It's a pretty good turn card. At this point we're just going to bet and commit ourselves on this turn. If he has us beat, then hallelujah. I'm going to squeeze the 10s down here on table 4 too. And barrel the aces, of course. Jacks, we got our bet through. I should have wanted to get it through. I think I wanted to be called, and I think I wanted to be called on the river too, but you can't have everything. I guess we should be grateful we just won the pot. One thing I did notice when I was playing earlier on, we had a bit of a downswing to begin with, then we kind of recovered when I made some adjustments. People aren't that into folding on this site. I think the games are pretty tight. Not super tight by any stretch, but relatively tight. And I haven't seen too many folds to 3-bets when people have been opening from early and middle position. And I haven't seen too many folds to like double barrels. If C-bets don't work, then I think typically giving up it seems to be the best way to go about it. We need to defend the ace-4 here. I think we're going to go with a 4-bet as a bluff. I haven't seen too much respect in these games for aggression. I think if people just, it feels to me up to now like if a player has a hand they like, then they just have a hand they like and they try and get to showdown with it. I heroed a couple and got horribly wrong, and I also tried a couple of bluffs that didn't work out. I'm not sure why there's no players up here. Seems a little bit glitchy. Maybe it's just my computer, because I have a new computer. It's not that great, and well, it's decent enough, but it doesn't seem to like lots of different programs running. So I've no idea who I'm up against here and how much money they have. I'm just going to keep betting with our 2 pairs, I guess. That's a dreadful river. The ace. He's called a double barrel. He's now led out. And we only beat bluffs. Not sure what bluffs he's going to have. Your king jack's just got there, even though we block that. I think we've got to fold it here. I mean, I call here so often and just lose so often. We only have 1 pair. Bluff catching rivers with 1 pair. When we haven't exactly taken a line that you would imagine would induce bluffs. Never seems like the greatest plan to me. If we'd taken a line that could have induced a bet, then by all means try and do some bluff catching, but otherwise let's not bother. Running against the same player here. We have an open ender here. We have actually a made hand here. We're going to do exactly the same thing against him at both tables. He calls us on both, and we improve on one, and another we don't. I'm going to check back on both this time, and then just see if we can figure out if he's playing differently against the same lines at different tables. So he's checked both times. Then we can go for value here, and just check back our king jack here. I apologise if the 4 tables is not great for you guys. It's not as fast as like, oh, we had another, maybe the 4 tabling. It didn't do this earlier. I think it is definitely not a bug with the client so much as I think it's my computer just not handling it, because I played for a good 2 hours earlier, an hour and a half doing exactly this 4 tabling, and this wasn't happening. So I think it's just a factor of my asking my computer to do too much. Maybe going forward we'll only do 2 tabling when we're making videos. I'll be 4 tabling the rest of the time, because I really want to try and build the rate back up quickly, just see exactly how good it's going to be, see how long it takes us to make like certain milestones, etc. But I don't think we'll do another four tabling video, because it portrays the site in a light that perhaps it doesn't deserve to be portrayed in. Because like I say, I played all day, and I haven't seen that bug once. But then as soon as we add Camtasia to the mix, because you can see the way the cards are being dealt, it feels like it's just putting like a fair bit of pressure on my computer with Camtasia, which is probably why it's not handling it too well. I'm going to get a new computer after Christmas, a slightly better one. This one's, I mean, I paid £500 for it, but it doesn't like being asked to do a lot of things, so who knows. My CPU is up at like exactly 100 right now, so that's probably why we're experiencing some glitches. I'm not really sure there's anything I can turn off right now. Chrome, I guess we can turn Chrome off, but I doubt that's going to make a big difference. No idea what's going on at this table. It appears to have just completely crashed. No, it doesn't. We've just been C-bet and we don't know what the board is, so we don't know. Maybe next time the thing goes blank, we won't call, because if we don't know what the board is, it makes it kind of hard to continue. Yeah, so we won't be doing the four tabling thing again when we're recording. That's a lesson learned. We'll just let the 5-6 go versus the under the gun open. I think whilst I'm trying to gain population reads, get a feel for the games, etc. I'm gonna play pretty tight. I think. Earlier in the day, I played quite loose, tried to like put pressure on people, do quite a bit of light 3-betting, like 3-bet, like C-bet, etc. It did not work at all well. People just weren't that into folding. So I think we're gonna play a game that is like pretty tight and very value orientated post flop. It's not optimal, but I think until we get better reads on individuals and on the pool, it's probably the best way to start. Need to defend the 7-5 from the big blind versus someone who's likely to be a fish given his stack size. One thing I've noticed is people are willing to go to showdown with like hands that don't really have showdown value, so we might even win here with this king queen. We might have done had he not rivered the straight, which is unfortunate, but never mind. I'm going to just stab here with the king jack and then give up unimproved, because as I said, people like that into folding. I've found that once one barrel gets called, and obviously everyone's different, so I'm not making too much of a generalization, but it feels like if people are calling flop C bets and they're kind of saying see you at the river. So let's see him at the river at a price we can afford, I guess. You'll see in the next video, by the way, this site isn't anywhere near as slow as this. I mean, because the cards aren't coming out super pure and what have you. I haven't experienced this all day. I think it's just a combination of my computer and Camtasia. I'm not sure if I can upgrade my computer anyway. I do have an extra hard drive I can put on. I guess that will help if I make another video. Timed out there. So we'll be doing quite a lot of stabbing with like overs and backdoors here like this. But if we do meet resistance, then we're only going to be continuing on the very best of turn cards. We're not going to be running any multi-street bluffs. We can probably bet twice here now. He's checked twice with our 5-4. And we will be betting twice. We can't just bet once there. If he has stuff like Jack 9, Jack King, etc. King 6. What was I saying about people not folding? I mean, that's exactly the type of hand you don't even expect him to have. Given he called the turn, but I guess he does. I'm not calling the river if he bets again. Either we do hold some key cards with a jack and a diamond. If anyone knows, by the way, if you're watching this, I do have the hard drive out of my old computer. Just like crashed it. Something went wrong with the graphics card, and apparently it was beyond repair. It was irreparable. Apparently it's some kind of error that's irreparable, according to the two different people I took it to. But one guy did take my hard drive out and put it into some casing that I can plug into this computer. Would doing that help at all with these, like, the CPU usage being up at 100 in situations like this? Would adding, like presuming extra memory when you put another hard drive in, and presuming you had extra memory, would doing that help at all with this situation, or is it all about processor speed when it comes to this type of thing? I don't know. If any of you guys can give me any advice on that, please don't give me advice if you don't know what you're talking about. I'd rather receive no advice than bad advice. He like snap 3-bet there. We're going to go with a small 4-bet bluff again with a suited ace. Maybe we'll do this too often if we're doing it with all our suited aces that we're not calling with. I typically have a rule where I just do it with like ace 4, ace 5 suited and nothing else, or very little else. But I've done it, so there we go. I can't back out of it now. And we get the C-bet through, so we'll be happy with that. And we'll tap ourselves on the wrist and tell ourselves to stick to the plan, which is not 4-bet bluffing, which is not even 3-bet bluffing, which is very limited C-bet bluffing. In fact, we're just not doing much bluffing, basically. Gets 550. Not sure what King X he can have. It's clearly a fish of some description. We just have to call here. Game don't really like bluff catching much. Guess he can have some deuces. Guess he can have 6-3. When we take that line, we check back the turn on the king. We kind of have to call the river, I guess. Again, table 2, just stabbing. If we pick up some good equity on the turn, we'll try and use it, try and utilise it. If we don't, then we'll just give up. Not betting at all on this board texture with Queen 10 no suits. And we maybe have the best hand now, unless he has some ace highs, which is obviously never going to fold because it's virtually the nuts. And caught with a good shot on the flop. It's very reasonable versus the sizing that we chose to use. So we're definitely following a tight is right strategy right now. I'm going to call with the ace-9 suited on the button though versus the guy who's seen 22% of flops, which seems like a big number based on what I've seen. It's not VPIP, it's percentage of flops seen, which is obviously a different metric. Seems like a big number to me. And he of course has the green tag. And we can raise this turn here. I mean, we lose to 6-7 in sets. I think both of those will rebet, 3-bet if when we do raise, but lots of worse hands will just call. Pretty dreadful river in terms of our ability to get value. You can have some 7x in his bet call range on the turn. We're just going to check back and expect to win, but not expect to win if we bet and get called. Same hand. Now I'm going to try attaching the extra hard drive to my computer. It can't do any harm, can it? I'm not going to stab here in this multi-way pot. Try and isolate a limper here. I'm not too asked about tagging people who might be regs right now, but I am asked about tagging people who might be fish. Another dude there. And we can get tagged up. We flop a pair. And we're going to stab a smallish. Called, so we're certainly not going to bet the turn. I'm going to check and maybe call rivers depending on sizing. We don't have any spades. I guess we just call here and lose to King Jack, which is desperately unfortunate given he'd check call the flop, but never mind. I did say earlier that people weren't that keen on folding flops on this site. I think the King Jack and the King 6 earlier is supporting that somewhat. Bet here and only barrel like 6s, 9s and black ones on table 1. It's the same guy we isolated earlier, I'm not sure. But we'll try again. Pick up 3 callers probably. Queen 8, that is disappointing. I'm just going to go for it on the turn here with the Queen Jack. called, and we're ahead. We've been raised on the river here with our 2 pairs. I'm going to call, and we beat his 2 pairs. So a couple of nice pickups there for us. Didn't expect to get called by a worse hand when we jammed the Queen Jack. We were trying to make him fold a 10. I guess if he's not folding. Mind you, he had a big draw. Yeah, ignore that. I still think he probably should have folded, but nevertheless, he did have a big draw. Bomb this turn with the King 3 and not fold. Our opponent folds, which we'll take. Fold the jacks facing a bet and a call. Let's see what goes on. Good fold, Reggie. Even if we had the best hand on the flop against their combined ranges, we're going to be pretty low on equity. Pocket 5s and a flop flush. So his donk was atrocious. His call was obviously completely fine. Wow, that's a big open. Let's get this dude tagged. Let's flop a royal, that'd be sweet. Okay, let's not flop a royal then. Doesn't hurt to ask, does it? Let's try and flop a royal again. We have a potential fish in the big blind. Flop top pair, which isn't a bad place to start. I guess we're going to lead out with our 10 on the turn on table 4. Check our King 10 one more time. Oh, I was going to go for some river value. Not anymore, because he can have a ton of ace-x. It's just giving up and checking back. No, he can just have pocket jacks. So we're going to sit out. And then we're going to take a little look at the other things on the site. I guess we just rejam here. Oh, we get called. Wow, Queen Jack and Ace Queen. beautiful. So we drag a nice pot at the end there. Someone just decided to get Queen Jack in, all in pre-flop, which was pretty sweet. So we're going to pause the video now, and then we're going to bring up the other stuff. The other stuff I want to show you guys. So we'd made 2 and a bit buy-ins there in that short session, which is pretty sweet. Not going to argue with that. So what they have here, they also have this thing that's called PokerCraft, and I'm not super familiar with it, so please bear with me. So this is what we have here. You can go to all your different games and things that you played. We're going to go to Chinese Rush because that's what we've been playing. It's telling me I'm type passive. I wouldn't argue with that at the moment, given how my strategy's been working out so far, just while we get to know the games. So yeah, we're not going to argue with that too much. So if we go and put the blinds in of what we've been playing, which was 51, and then click the show button, it kind of shows all the sessions that you played. So if we can we just check them all? Yeah, we can. And it'll give you like a little graph of how you've been doing. Now this is pre-rake, I believe. So we're way above EV, but who cares? So I've made, what is it? Made 277, whatever the currency is, pre-rake back in whatever that is, like 1300 hands, something like that. Which is, it is what it is. It's no sample size, is it? Then you can like check out how you're doing by position, which when we've won so much in such a small time, it's going to be good. You can review hands that you played by going to, this is just like a graph of like which hands I'm winning with, which hands I'm losing with. Again, I'm not going to pay too much attention to that right now. And then you can eventually it just populates and you can look at all the hands you played. Like this is that last hand, it just brings it up. It's not a replay, so you can't replay them, but it shows you how the action went and what have you. And then finally, because I mean I don't know enough about this yet to show you yet, but there is ways to like track how you're doing. Like see how you're doing like pre-rake. I mean the rake coming off this is like just the amount of, this is like your net win before they take the rake off, so it's not a true figure as such. And now we go to this thing here, which is, we're going to cash it in now. I wasn't that asked about doing it, just to show you how it works. So alright, no spins available. I thought I did that. We do have a spin available. So we've got the plankton spin. So as you go up in levels, this goes up. So as you can see, like the next one I get to is $6. Then I don't know what the next one is, but it goes up. I've seen guys spinning for like $1,000. So you do this and it puts a wheel up and it spins, and the higher you are, the more rate back you can potentially get, the more it'll give you. So we've got the next to maximum. So we've got an extra $1 there in rate back, which is nothing, of course. But I've only played like for a couple of hours. But I've seen guys on. Oh, can we do one? We can do another one. We can do the shrimp one. I think we can anyway. Is it letting us do it? Oh, we're not up there yet. No, we're not up there yet. I don't think, are we? Which is why it's not letting me do it. Oh no, we are up there. Oh, we're learning. Now we're going to settle on the... Oh, we got the maximum this time. So that's $4 rake back for my play so far, which I guess is not to be sniffed at, given that I haven't played very much. But this goes up and up. I've seen guys who've got high volume, they're like spinning once a month and they can get up to like 1,000 back. Maybe not even once, maybe quicker than once a month. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But I'm sure if you've got the website, you'll be able to see exactly how much rake you have to pay. It is does add a bit of extra variance because it's not like fixed rake back as such. But let's face it, it should even out over time. So that's how that works too. So yeah, I'm not super familiar with all of it yet, so I'm not going to pretend that I am. But it seems like it's, now they've launched a speed poker, to me it feels like it might be a decent option. The games feel way softer than Snap, and that was like 16-0 we played, then 15-0. It seems super soft. I played some of this earlier. It seemed pretty soft too. Not mega soft, but you know, soft enough. Certainly not as tough as Party Poker or or PokerStars. And I think it's a nice option. If you're not already on the site, you can get like a decent sign-up bonus to begin with that you can work on clearing. You get, if you do sign up through George, through Shroom and myself, you're going to get some extras from George. Not sure exactly how much it works out at. Not sure how he does it. Don't know if he does rate races. No idea. Hopefully he'll explain it all in the post on Facebook. I think it's a nice option. If you don't have a GG account and you fancy playing, please do get in touch with me first, and we can hopefully hook you up with some extra rate back on top of what you already get. And yeah, just give it a whirl. What's the worst that can happen? But maybe if you're unsure, let me play a few more days. I'm going to be posting videos every day. To update my thoughts and feelings on these games. So yeah, please, if you're not sure, don't rush into it. And if you are going to sign up, if you're already thinking, fuck it, we'll give it a go, then please get in touch by the Facebook group first, or by the comments underneath the video, and I'll try and hook you up with George before you create your account. I think we'll leave it there for now, everybody. Thanks a lot, take care, and bye-bye for now.